Bhanushali. I'm actually a trainee RPA developer at AQM Technologies. Actually, Arduino is a microcontroller. I will be able to show you the hardware process. So, what's the soil moisture alert system? Main objective of my system is to check whether the soil moisture in the farm is good or not for farming. Actually, many a times farmer irrigate the soil when the moisture is good enough, which is not good for the crops. And many a times the moisture levels are too low and farmer don't recognize to irrigate the crops. So the crops get dry and the crops get failed. These are the main problems faced by the farmers. And how do this system works? So there's the hardware system, Arduino, then moisture sensors, Wi-Fi module, and a server that I used for collecting the data. That's ThinkSpeak IoT Cloud Platform and our UiPath robot system. So the moisture sensor collects all the data which they get in analog form and pass it to the Arduino. Then Arduino connected with the Wi-Fi module sends all the data to the ThinkSpeak server, where we can visualize the data in the form of graph. Let me show you the server here. Actually, the hardware is running now, and we are getting the moisture data here. There are two moisture sensors connected.
Jigar, do you mind if you can take your camera towards the hardware so that we can see what it is?
Yeah.
Let me spotlight the video for everyone so that people can see it.
I have connected with another user. I will show from there. Hardware.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the Wi-Fi module which send all the data to the ThinkSpeak server. Here is the Arduino board, and this one are the moisture sensors. Here the LED indicates that the moisture value is low and we need to irrigate the farm.
Okay.
Let me take to the serial monitor. This is the serial monitor of the Arduino IDE where I written the code for Arduino here. And here I have by default given the value that if the average value of both the moisture sensor is less than 1050, then the irrigation will start. Now let's jump to our UiPath flow. Here with the help of HTTP request, I fetch all the JSON data from the ThinkSpeak, and when the value of the field will be lower than the threshold value, then we will get a mail notification. Let me run the code. It's completely background process. Here we got field 1 and field 2 values. So the bot has sent mail to the user that is farm's moisture value is low and you need to irrigate the farm. And the mail will be triggered only once because I have given here a counter that if the value is low, then bot will continuously run till the moisture values are good. But mail will only be triggered once. Let me show you the mail here. The moisture level of the farm is low. Please start the irrigation system. Now I will hard-codedly change the value of the farm by API call. we will get the mail that now the field moisture value is good enough and the board will stop working. Yeah, the board stopped working. Yeah, we got the mail also. Moisture levels are good. That's from my end.
Thank you, Jigar. Before I let the judges speak and talk about this, I would like to know what is the role of UiPath here?
The UiPath actually, what can I say, alerts the user that his farm values of the moisture are low. And for future enhancements also, I have planned that we can control the irrigation system with the help of UiPath app.
Okay, getting too technical for me. Over to you, Nidhi.
Uh, okay. Uh, I would like to understand more about this solution. Can you actually see, I mean, show the coding that you have written for the hardware part?
Yeah, sure. Here.
Yeah, and if you could tell us what is this Arduino? Is this a microprocessor programming that you have written, or what kind of, I would like to understand the programming or the technical system that you're using here. What is
Yeah,
this Arduino?
Arduino is a microcontroller. The main brain of Arduino is a 8 mega 328P microcontroller chip, and the
Mm-hmm.
program is written in C language for Arduino.
Mm-hmm.
Here I have made the functions. This is for reading the sensor value. We get the sensor value in analog form, which I have printed also here. Here analog moisture value 1, sensor value 1, 1021. Then the method light, it will check the both the average of both the sensors and give command digital write for pump to
Mm-hmm.
get started. Here the glowing LED shows that the pump is working now. And then write things fix. It's used to send the data collected from both the moisture sensors to the ThingsFix server.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, so the role of UiPath you are saying is to actually alert the user whenever you read these values at the real time, right?
Yeah.
So what is that HTTP request doing there in the code, right? What is the URL that you are?
It's the API call made to the ThingsFix server. Let me show you the. Here. It will
Okay,
make a call and all the JSON values of field 1 will be fetched.
okay. I could understand it because in my college days, because I'm also from the electronics background itself, so I created the IR based automatic door opener. So whenever there's a person coming in, the door will automatically open. So I use the IR sensor as well as the microprocessor programming, again, something that I just now showed. So yes, I mean, from the electronics part, it is really a good I would say a demo and a project and a use case. The UiPath part, although is a little bit, but I'm happy that you actually try to integrate both of them in the same use case. Yeah, that's all from my end. No other questions.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Nidhi. Steve, Bhavesh, would you have some comments on this?
I have to say I like the use case, and I mean, right now it's obviously in its beginning stages right now, but the notion, the sensors that you're applying, kind of it could be any Internet of Thing type sensor that you are engaging an alert, integrating and activating alerts off of UiPath to people who need to know what's going on, which I liked. I liked your, obviously this is a hackathon, so you can't build everything that you want to have, but I liked the when you said, well, now with an alert under certain circumstances, maybe we'll activate the irrigation system out of off of the alert. Now, if you think about that, there are many places in the world where water is fresh, water is very precious, and to be able to control the irrigation of crops or other plants based upon need instead of a schedule could be very valuable in those places. So I think it's obviously very different than what we were looking at earlier in the day here, but different isn't bad. Different in this case is good. I mean, I think you've included this additional data and integrated it, into your use case. And I know we're looking a lot about UiPath here, but again, in my mind, what we're really trying to do is develop patterns that solve real problems. And this is a pattern that could solve many real problems. So well done. I'll give you well done on this one.
Thank you, Steve. Bhavesh?
Yep. Again, the IoT and integration with RPA automation is very near and dear to me. So you can assume that you're going to definitely get good mark for your creativity and picking this use case. Again, for anytime when we talk about IoT, I think there are like two angles to it. One is kind of the monitoring angle, and the second one is the controlling, right? And that completes the loop from an IoT standpoint. I think you picked really the good use case. I think you were able to demonstrate the monitoring angle quite well. How do we use automation UiPath layer on top of IoT there? So I think that's definitely brilliant. I would have also encouraged you, again, I think you did mention, which is awesome, kind of the whole controlling. How do we control this? But I would want you to, again, in the follow-up, you might want to expand this use case further and build more and more on the controlling angle, which will again, the value for monitoring is definitely there. But as soon as you start controlling your IoT devices using automation like this, I think the value from your use case will quadruple. So again, very well done. I like this uniqueness about your use case there. Would definitely want to stay connected to learn more about where your thought process is heading and something which we can explore. So do connect with us, Jigar, when you get a chance.
Yeah, sure.
Good work.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. So from the other observers, any queries, any comments? Okay. So Jigar, something for you to note here. Bhavesh Virani wants to connect to you.
Yeah.
Steve Laval wants to connect to you. Right? There is another person named Kunal Jain who has worked on Arduino. Probably he wants to connect with you as well to see about how he can help building up better cases for you. Right? So please connect with everyone on the call over LinkedIn and have a conversation.